I took time off and flew here to be my best friend's maid of honor, but on her wedding day, she looked at me with pure disgust and told me to get out. The moment my plane landed, Chloe was there to pick me up and took me straight to the hotel. Soon after I got to my room, she handed me a shopping bag. Inside was the latest iPhone, a high-end perfume, and a check for $10,000. She was beaming, full of excitement. "This is your maid of honor gift," she said. "Even though I'm getting married, you'll always be the most important person in my life." My eyes instantly welled up. I was completely overcome with emotion. The next morning, I was up before dawn. I put on my bridesmaid dress and went to find her. She was sitting at her vanity, surrounded by stylists. When she saw me, her face lit up with happiness. She waved me over, absolutely glowing. But as I got closer, her expression froze, as if she'd seen something repulsive. "Get out," she hissed, her voice low but dripping with undisguised contempt. "Get out of my sight, now." I stood there, paralyzed, forcing a smile as my voice trembled. "It's your wedding day, Chloe. Don't be like this, you're scaring me." I instinctively took a step forward, trying to gently touch her shoulder and end this terrible joke. But she jerked back, putting a harsh distance between us. "Who's joking? Get out, or I'm calling security." My hand hung in midair. My mind went blank, replaying everything, trying to figure out what I could have possibly done wrong. I was still clueless as she pulled out her phone to make the call. My breathing was shaky. "Did I do something wrong?" I pleaded in a small voice. "Is there some custom here I don't know about? I can apologize. Please just don't be angry." She was marrying someone from out of state, and our hometown was over 600 miles away. I clung to the hope that I had simply broken some local rule, praying she would explain. She sneered, her eyes sharp. "There's no custom. I'm not saying anything more to save you the last shred of dignity you have left." Then, she yelled toward the door. "Security! Get her out of here! I never want to see this person again." I was stunned. Just last night, we had squeezed into the same bed and talked all night about how we first met as kids, our awkward teenage years, our failures, and our dreams. She had even worried I'd be tired from the flight and booked an extra room for me to rest. Now, just 3 hours later, everything was completely different. As a security guard approached, I shook my head and took another step toward her, my voice a wreck. "I honestly don't know what I did wrong. If you don't tell me, I can't fix it. Today is the most important day of your life. I'm your only maid of honor. If I leave, what will you do?" The moment I finished, she lunged at me, grabbing my bridesmaid dress. "Take it off!" She shoved the stylist aside, her tone sharp and frantic. "Anyone can be my maid of honor. It doesn't have to be you. Mia Carter, get out. I don't have time for this. My makeup isn't even done. If you dare ruin my wedding, I will make you regret it." Her cruel words drained all the strength from my body. I lowered my head and took out the gift I had made for her by hand, something I'd spent several nights on, crafting it in the style she once said she loved. I placed it gently on the vanity. "Congratulations on your wedding. I'll return the dress to you later." I thought I could still salvage things. "I worked on it for so long," I rushed to explain. "My hands got all scraped up, just to make it how you like." But before I could finish, she snatched the gift and smashed it on the floor right in front of me, sending fragments scattering everywhere. She pointed at the door and repeated coldly, "Get out." In a daze, I went back to my room, took off the bridesmaid dress, and sent her a text. "I'm at the hotel. If you need anything at all, I'm here." The message failed to send notification was like a bucket of ice water, extinguishing my last bit of hope. Chloe had blocked me. I lay on the bed, feeling like my soul had been ripped out, unable to understand how a friend who had been so close just the day before could cast me aside so brutally, without a single word of explanation. Eventually, hotel security escorted me out of the lobby. I stood in the cold wind, clutching my suitcase and staring at the wedding poster of Chloe and her fiancé in the hall. My heart ached, as if pricked by 1,000 needles. I had to have an answer, so I called the groom, Jason Reed, but the man who